Hey everyone, in this video I'll be reviewing Streamlight's newest compact weapon light, the TLR-7A. This light is rated for 500 lumens with a burn time of 1.5 hours. This copy is on my M&P 2.0 core pistol. When Streamlight originally released the TLR-7 sometime back, I really dismissed it because I didn't like the on-off activation switch on it. A lot of people didn't either. They've done a much better job with the switching mechanism on the 7A. If you've seen my video on Nightstick's 550XL compact weapon light, you'll see a lot of similarities between the two lights. As I go through this video, I'll obviously be comparing the two because they are so similar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the features of the 7A and see how it compares. Here are a few examples of the TLR-7 compact weapon light. I have one still attached to the M&P 2.0 core pistol, have two other copies of the light down below, and for comparison purposes, a Nightstick 550XL. When you purchase the TLR-7A, you actually get two end caps with it, the end cap being this part at the rear of the light. This is in what's known as the low switch configuration. This one is the high switch. I think it's pretty apparent as to how those names are derived. For me, I'm not a fan of the low switch. I find that I actually have to move my support hand more than I would like in order to get my support hand thumb on the activation switch of the light, and it's less than ideal. If you think about it, all other pistol lights on the market end up having the activation switch come center line of the trigger guard, and that's where the high switch positions it. The low switch ends up with a switch down at the bottom of the trigger guard, and for me that is less than ideal. As far as turning on the light, if you've seen my video for the Nightstick 550XL, it's the same way. For momentary on, you just press and hold the lever and then release for off. So for on, press and hold, for off, release. For constant on, quickly tap the switch and the light comes on. For off, quickly tap again and it's off. So again, for momentary, press and hold for on, release for off. For constant, quick tap and it's on, quick tap again and it is off. A very straightforward and, to me, intuitive method of turning the light on and off. The 7A features a front-loading battery compartment. You do not have to remove the light from the pistol to change the battery. So battery changes are very easily achieved. The bezel features a lockout feature. Looking closely here at the rear of the bezel, you'll notice there is an arrow, or actually a line with an arrow at either end of it. Fully turned clockwise, the light is on. If you turn it ever so slightly counterclockwise, you'll feel a little bit of a kind of a bump that you turn the bezel past, and once you've turned it past that, the light is locked out. So for purposes of traveling or storing of a pistol with a 7A on it, and you don't want to have to risk an inadvertent light activation, then you can lock the light out. The 550 XL has the same feature on it, so nothing new, but a very nice feature for the light to have. Other than the cosmetic differences between the 550 and the 7A, I don't really find there to be a lot of difference. The burn times seem to be comparable. The 550 is rated for 550 lumens, thus the 550 designation. The 7A is rated for 500, but in practical applications, I have not been able to discern a difference in light output between the two. The only minor difference that I have noticed is if you'll look here at the tail cap, at the pin that holds the activation switch in place, it is at the top. So in essence, your switch is hinged at the top. This allows you to press down on the switch to turn the light on, or press in from the rear to turn it on. So depending upon hand size, that could be a determining factor in this one, in that you may not be able to reach and get your finger all the way on the top, but you can kind of come in from the rear and push it in order to turn it on. The Nightstick 550 has the pin center line of the activation switch. So you can still press the light down to turn it on, but pressing in on it does not activate the light. You have to press down to get that light activation. So that is a minor difference, but depending upon hand size and how someone interfaces with their pistol and the light, it could be a determining factor on which one they prefer. The 550 XL is a little bit easier to manipulate and turn on as opposed to the 7A. There are pros and cons. It's easier to turn on, but at the same time, it's more prone to accidental light discharges by bumping the light and having it possibly come on when you don't want it to come on. As far as I'm concerned, I like them both. I'm going to continue to run the 7A for a while just to see how it holds up. Most likely, I'll end up having Nightstick 550 XLs on some pistols and the 7A on others. Due to the commonality of features and function, I should be able to transition easily between either one with no problem. As far as my recommendation, check them both out. I like both, and at this point, it really is a flip of the coin as to which one I prefer.
I'm in my backyard. I am 15 yards from the target. The camera is zoomed in a little bit so we can see the target better. The camera is set to manual, so there will not be any adjustments to the exposure when transitioning from one light to the other. So we're going to compare the Streamlight TLR-7A to the Nightstick 550 XL. This is the TLR-7A Nightstick 550 XL. Back to the Streamlight. The Streamlight appears to be marginally brighter through the camera. That is not as discernible with the naked eye. Additionally, the Streamlight appears to have a warmer color of light from it. Back to the Nightstick 550 XL, slightly cooler color. Streamlight again, 550 XL. There you have it, guys. My review of the Streamlight TLR-7A compact weapon light. I told you going into the video that there were a lot of similarities between the 7A and the 550 XL. In closing, let's just talk about those minor differences one more time. If you look at the nighttime video section, we did see that the 7A on camera was slightly brighter than the 550 XL, despite the 550 being rated for 550 lumens and the 7A being rated for 500 lumens. The 7A was slightly brighter. Not a big deal because it was just marginal degree of brightness, and again, with my eye, it was not discernible, but on the camera, it was. In that same section, you may have noticed how the beam seemed to kind of quiver a little bit on the edges with the 550 XL. That was just movement being induced by my hand. The edges of the 550 XL's hotspot are very well defined, and there's a very drastic transition from the hotspot to the spill area, and any movement is perceivable. On the 7A, there's a much more gradual transition between the hotspot and the spill area, and movement is not as perceivable. The other difference that we noticed was where the hinge pin is on the lights. On the 7A, it's located at the top, and that allows you to press the activation switch down to turn it on, or push in on the rear of it to turn it on. On the Nightstick 550 XL, that pin is center of the activation switch, so you have to press down. You can't press into it in order to activate the light. Out of everything we've covered in this video, the only thing I don't recommend is the low switch option for the 7A. If you look at my grip here, in order to turn the light on for constant, I just come down and click it, and it's on. Click again, and it's off. Press and hold for momentary, release for off. A little bit of movement there, but nothing that's any different than other weapon lights on the market. With the low switch option, though, I'm having to bring my support hand thumb all the way down here to the bottom of the trigger guard. And for me, that's just a no-go. It feels like I'm compromising my grip to do that. So I don't want to do that, especially not when I have the option in the box of putting the high switch end cap in place. So low switch, no-go. High switch, thumbs up, so to speak. Hey guys, I hope you've gotten something out of this video. If you're looking at the 550XL and the 7A, hopefully this will allow you to make a little bit more of an informed decision on which one you would like to purchase. And if you like the video, please hit that like button at the bottom. If you like the videos I'm pushing out to you all, then please subscribe. That way you get notified as new content comes out. Until next time, you all stay safe and take care.